Hey everyone, on set here from The Narrative. We've got Jimbo from Foe joining us, come all the way down to London to have a chat with us because you have had probably one of the most turbulent off seasons, I think, in quite some time.
It's been an absolute wild one. Stressful, beyond relief, just crazy one, but great, don't get me wrong.
There's a lot of stories to tell.
There is an absolute ton.
Before we get into it, do you want to get a coffee?
Heck yeah.
Let's get caffeinated. All right, coffee acquired. Funny thing is, you ordered a macchiato. You thought it was going to be
tiny. I thought it was going to be a big old cup, but I'll take it.
The world's smallest coffee. But anyway, there's a lot to talk about, right? We kind of said that you've had probably one of the most turbulent off seasons ever.
Been very long. A lot of, like you say, just up and down emotions, stress beyond belief, but come out from it, so I'll take it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, let's go back to, say, Blackpool Europa Halo event. You guys had a very good performance. You did come up agonisingly short in that final against Quadrant.
One kill.
That was the difference.
Split across the map, Sniper and Jimbo. Jimbo gets the first kill with a shock rifle. Shots onto two other players. The collapse coming in. Slay's come through. 3 down. 49-48 in favour of Navi. 20 seconds left. Respawn coming through for Quadrant. Where they're going to respawn. Shock rifle now in the hands of Jimbo. Working as a unit. Only one more kill and they win this grand finals. Seeker tries to challenge. Shik's there as well. Backing away. 10 seconds left. The collapse has got to come through. Red shield for Jimbo. He's getting shot in the back. 49-49. What? Seeker gets a kill. 50-49. The collapse was good from Quadrant. 3-2 in our best of 5 finals. What a way to win. What a way to win.
One kill.
That was the difference. But after that event, that's where things really started to put pressure on you, I would say, as a player, and put you in situations where you probably haven't been before.
Yeah, I mean, we went into the event kind of having the suspicion that Glory was going to go, with the whole rumours of Legend going to SSG and stuff like that. So, but like on the drive back, I literally got told that Glory is going, which was terrible. And, you know, it put us through that. But then we started like having to figure out what we're going to do as a fourth. And, you know, obviously it's like when Legend goes, then it's like you can't really like replace. Like when there's a player of a switch for Quadrant, you can't really just like replace with Legend. You have to find another player and bring it up to that caliber, right? Yeah. We were like playing with Barcode, who was briefly debating coming to Europe for a little bit, and then Wootum is the guy that we just saw. And keyboard and mouse, there's the hesitance with keyboard and mouse and all that kind of scare. But I mean, that guy is crazy.
We're just gonna play it from Wootum's POV, a showcase of who I think is the current best mouse and keyboard player in the world for Halo Infinite.
Let's talk a little bit about how you reacted to Glory leaving, because you guys put a lot of time in. We know that Glory is individually a very talented player, but the top level of Halo is very different to maybe where he was before. Did that kind of play into how you reacted to him leaving, or is it kind of a little bit more of a natural, well, we just need to find someone else?
I think with David leaving, it didn't hit me in Drone as hard as it hit Mighty. Mighty got hit pretty hard with it. I feel like because there was a decent talent pool that we could pull from, it was like it sucked, but it wasn't end of the world, right? Yeah. We could just not easily, but obviously there was more talent we could get, like when we got Wootum. So like when David went, it sucked because obviously he's an exceptionally good player, especially when he went to the rival team that we just lost to. But it didn't hit me and Mike as hard as it hit Liam, I feel like. Because Liam was like best bud, like their best buds, right? Him and David were best buds. It was like, you could tell from Liam's perspective or Mighty's perspective, it like, you know, he just lost his best friend in a way.
You said yourself on your streams and stuff, you kind of understand why he made the move. Right. It's not something you could hold against him.
No, that's the thing. Like, it's with both moves that have happened. I've always tried to make it very clear. Although obviously they're drawing like the rival team in a way. Like we love David, and I would have done the exact same thing in his shoes. Mm-hmm. Like you know, you got end of the day, you've got to be able to live playing, right? He's going from nothing a month to now getting a salary, right? So you can't blame him. There's always love. Like people obviously like disliked him or dislike the fact he's done it because he's moved to a rival, but you can't hate the guy for making a good decision from his own perspective, right? Yeah. And we all love Glory. You know, Glory's a great guy. So.
Okay, so let's talk about going into the new HCS season. Wootum, yourself, Mighty's, Snipe joins the lineup, and you win the first two. You beat Quadrant in both qualifiers.
Yeah, I mean, first one was fairly close. You know, kind of more like what I expected in a way. That, you know, Quadrant got a lot of practice during the off-season. Well, not a lot. They got more practice than most because they had their roster finalized, and we were coming into just with raw skill. Mm-hmm. So it was a lot closer than we expected. And then obviously the second one, we didn't even drop a map. Like it was kind of wild how fast we went through it. Like it kind of made me sit there and think, oh, something's up here. You know what I mean? Like it was that kind of smooth. Mm-hmm. And then sadly, literally the next morning after the tournament, Drone puts in the WhatsApp, boys, we need to talk. And I'm like, no.
Did you, after you won that tournament so convincingly, did you expect maybe there to be some interest?
I expected there to be interest, but I honestly sat there and thought that they'd, and this is going a bit into it, I thought that they'd think as Glory as the scapegoat. Like, obviously, since they're replacing Legend with Glory, I thought they were going to be like, oh, it's not working with Glory, so let's pick someone else.
Yeah.
So I thought there was going to be a switch in that regard, and it caught me off guard when they actually replaced Chick with Snipe Drone. That did catch me off guard, because I think that's what probably hit me harder. It's like I wasn't expecting that change.
What happens with you behind the scenes after this? How do you react to this news and this move?
I think for me, because I didn't really know Chick too much, and we looked at the talent pool in Europe, and I mean this in no disrespect to the talent pool in Europe, I was sitting there thinking, what do we do? Like, I'm on the border of like, do I just retire at this point? Like, it's gone to that point, because I'm like, I don't know. Like, it was like we had so much success, and then obviously like that, it just hit me in such a spiral, like stress beyond belief. Like, what do we do? What's the future? I could see it was affecting Mighty, even harder than it was when Glory went, and it was just like, I didn't know how to get, like, what to do. And when Chick was the option, it was like, I don't really know Chick on a personal level, and I've always had this kind of like ongoing rivalry with French players. I feel like a lot of the French players have never really liked me, or maybe I don't know, maybe it's in my own head about it.
Okay.
But so I just didn't know, like I was really unsure with Chick being the fourth. And I think even now, to the point where we're at now, I'm still a bit unsure about it, but he's done nothing but prove that he is a great player and a great teammate, and he's been such a great addition to the team.
So I'm lucky enough, you guys stream your scrims in your Discord, and I jump in and kind of stay out of the way, but obviously it gives us an opportunity to watch some scrims and do what we need to do as commentators.
Yeah.
But your mood to me after Snipe Drone left was so noticeable in how I could feel like it hit you emotionally, probably more than anything else I've seen in your career. Talk to me a little bit about that, because losing one player is tough when you put the timing to bring them up to standard, but then losing one of your core players and that makes you the team you are it's a double blow, right?
Yeah, I feel like Drone was always kind of like my duo.
Yep.
Like, I feel like I know exactly what he's going to do at all points, and I feel like he knows with me. We've always had natural chemistry way back from like Epsilon days, like way back. So when he went, it was like, he's such a tough player to replace with the way that he plays and all that kind of stuff, the experience he's got. So yeah, like I say, the stress hit me, and I was just exhausted all the time, just physical, like just mental stress, the physical stress. And I was like, I said to my fiance at the time, I'm drained. I don't know what to do. It's just absolutely taken a while out of me. So the idea of even playing Halo and improving and practicing was just like, I can't get my head into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have to.
There is some good news though, right? So you pick Chick up, Seb joins the team. Scrims are rough, to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, talk to me about the first week or so that you guys played together.
I mean, we didn't know what to expect, because obviously, like, when you make the comparisons between like Chick and Drone is very quiet, but he's like obviously always doing stuff, and whereas Chick is very vocal, which is a big difference for us, because I feel like with us, me and Mighty are the more two vocal players, so there's a big adaptation there. But we've noticed that Chick is really good communicating. He's got a very deep knowledge of the game. Obviously, this guy's achieved history in Europe, right?
He's achieved more than you've achieved.
He's achieved far more than I've achieved. Beat my record. Which, you've got to respect the fact that he knows what he's doing. Like, it's not just because he was the one that's been dropped from Quadrant. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's been there. He's been in his position. You've got to respect that experience, which I've learned too, and I'm, like I say, I'm mind blown by it,
But it was rough, right?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I watched some of your scrims. You got stomped, I'm going to say. Like, it was, the first time you guys played Quadrant, it was not close.
I think we took ugly. maybe a map at most, and a lot of it was completely outslayed. It was, like, I'm sitting there thinking, oh God, here we go. I'm playing Ascend again, you know what I mean? It's like kind of like limbo. I'm sat at the Gear 1 Na'Vi, getting absolutely ran over, like just trying to take anything that we can at that point. But well, you got to start somewhere, right? Yeah,
and then I think there was a 2-week period, if I'm not wrong, between when you picked Chick up and the Arlington qualifier, which is the big one, right? Yeah. And you guys won it. Yeah. Which I say this with all due respect, of course, I think was a surprise to many. I mean, I was a little bit surprised myself because of how the scrims had gone, but talk to me about that day, because it felt like things just started to click for you, and there was a belief, I feel like, in your comms and the way you were playing with each other that I hadn't seen up until that point.
Yeah, well, Mighty DM'd me a couple of days before, and he was just like, he knew it was me and him that were the two that needed to really like clock on and just forget the past, right? Because Wootum, absolute robot, just wants to win, right? And obviously Chick's coming in there to prove that he shouldn't have been the one to be replaced from Quadrant. So those guys' heads are in the game, and Harry coaches his heads in the game. So it was like Liam DM'd me, was like, oh, we need to really focus on this, right? We need to just forget about the past and like do the best that we can.
Yep.
And obviously when you go to the winners and we got 3-0, and it's like, well, because I'll be honest, I never said this to my teammates, I still didn't really believe. You know, like in my head, I'm like, we need more time. We need more time to get to that point we want to. So I was just not expecting once we got 3-0 for us the tournament to end how it actually did, which still blows my mind, but I'm beyond proud. Game 5 in the grand finals reset.
Yeah.
And we near enough staked them in the game 5 to throw a bit of dominance back at them. So, you know, that felt good. That felt great. I think that's what's made us so good now, is it's like, we just move on. You know, move on with the crap that's happened. Like, the world just throws blows at you and you can't sit there and just dwell about them. You got to move on, right? Like, it sucks it sucks that Quadrant basically stole our players, but that's the way it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I think
there's no hate.
a lot of people can spend too much time almost feeling sorry for themselves and dwell in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, you've still got some games to play, right? You guys still want to achieve something.
I still have past teammates to this day that probably still hate that I've dropped them at some point. So you kind of got to deal with this kind of stuff and move on.
Your career isn't exactly spotless.
I was going to say, I'm
making team changes.
I don't like making team changes, but I've probably made the most team changes. But it's not by choice. It's people don't put 100% in, right?
Yeah. I mean, talk about what you expect for Arlington. I mean, very quickly, just to wrap things up here. What are your hopes, placement-wise? What do you hope to achieve?
I think minimum is always the top 8.
Yep.
Right, that's the minimum. Because I feel like when we have a roster that we just don't really know what its potential is, it's like, let's just go give it our all and we can see what we got. Well, I feel like we strongly have the potential to do more than top 8, don't get me wrong, and that's definitely the goal. I think we've put ourselves in a great position, getting the first seed in Europe and, you know, going into it in that way. It's just, I don't think there's any expectation, which I think is the best way to go at it. Don't go in there thinking you need to get this like
no pressure.
Like, yeah, no pressure.
No pressure. Just want to perform.
Just want to play, enjoy Halo, and I think that's what made me the best at the moment. Is I'm enjoying playing.
Yeah. Like
Bandit starts, you know, and vibing the team is great. So it's like I'm enjoying playing, and no pressure, like I say. It's gonna be fun.
Well, Jim, thanks for coming down to London, mate. I think it's always great to give people at home a little bit more of a view about not just what they see on screen, but what you guys go through.
Yeah.
And you've certainly been through it. So thank you for joining us, everyone. Thanks to Jim again for coming down from Faux. Best of luck to them, of course, going ahead to Arlington. And that was The Narrative.